It's been a long time. I should have left you. We got a nice big step too. All right. Listen up, gumshoes. I know my hair looks crazy, but who cares? I'm not here for a fashion show, all right? I'm here to get some talkage. Some talkage. Let's get some talkage. Let's get some talkage going on. I know a lot of you have want to talk some sports, so we could talk some sports. Get this out of the way. Some of the homies and homettes. Big up Lady G, even though I ain't heard from you in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard from a few ladies in a minute. Anyways, so yeah, let's do it. Let's talk Packers. Let's talk Packers. Some of you guys are thinking that you didn't think the Packers were gonna get this far. And some of you were like, man, we knew the Packers were gonna get this far because they had a great season. But they did lose a key defensive player recently. Now, let me tell you guys why I chose the Packers. You guys did not know. So let me tell you why I chose the Packers. I chose the Packers simply because of Aaron Rodgers. Now, I didn't choose it because the Packers are the best team. That's why I chose the Packers. I chose the Packers off of the best ratings that a team would get if they went to the Super Bowl. Now, that being said, I started to eliminate people who I didn't think, or teams that I didn't think would go based on a performance that they had. Now, I made my choice a couple months ago. I said the Packers are going to go, and of course they're going to take, Patrick Mahomes with them. So whenever I do this type of thing, I alleviate different teams based on their star player's ability to get hurt. So in order for my reasoning to work, even though a team may be shining, in the 7th, 8th week, they're looking good, I'm going, that team is not going to make it to the Super Bowl. And here's why. Because this team over here has this particular player who is worth more to the league at this point. All right. Now, when we look at yesterday's game, yeah, let's talk about that. That's where I was going. All right, you beat me to the punch. Okay, so when I looked at the game yesterday, I had already made up. Yeah, hold on. Can I plead my case? Can I finish? All right, yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, damn it, Drew Brees. Wow, you threw 2 interceptions, right? This means Trump stays in office. Nah, but when I saw Drew Brees throw those interceptions, I said, oh, my prediction might not come true because I needed Drew Brees to win. I needed Drew Brees to take out Wonder Boy Tom Brady. I needed that. And I was counting on that because they blew him out when they played him last. I mean, they made Tom look like a ranked amateur. If you can ever, well, you can't even do that. You can't make the greatest football player ever look like a ranked amateur. But they definitely made him have a bad day. But we know that's what Tom Brady, that's what he does. He loves bad days. And if you give him some time, he's going to correct that. And his defense came through. It's not that Tom played the greatest. His doggone defense came through. So they picked up where he, where they was like, okay, we were bad here. Let's go ahead and do this, this, and this. And they ran the heck out of the ball with Forte. They gave him lots of runs, number 28. I mean, they did it correctly. They really embraced Tom Brady. Like this, it's amazing what the Bucs have done with Tom Brady. I mean, he's an aging quarterback. He's 43. He's the oldest quarterback in the game right now. But, Tom Brady is still a damn good general. Tom Brady's speed is, he runs a 5.9. His arm is not the best. That was never the case. That's why he was picked like in the 7th or 8th round or whatever that was. And he didn't even get to play until Drew Bledsoe got hurt. Tom Brady's mind is what's great about him. He's like a freaking Batman. This dude is something else when it comes to just being a general out there. This dude, wherever he goes, it's going to be like that. And coaches recognize his talent, and they're going to listen to what he said. He's like a player coach to me. They're going to listen to what he says. He's like LeBron James. LeBron James goes, I need these players to make this happen. Tom Brady does the same thing. I need these players. And this is why he left Belichick, is because he couldn't get those players anymore. He was like, listen, Tom Brady took a $15 million cut he was taking year after year just to get those players that he needed. And when he couldn't do it anymore, he didn't have nobody to throw to. He's like, I need these people. And he's like, okay, well, fine. If the love affair is over with, it's over with. And he bounced, and now he goes to a team who hasn't seen the playoffs, let alone the Super Bowl in. When's the last time Bucks been to the Super Bowl? Or not even the Super Bowl, just the first round of the playoffs. Back when Sapp was playing, right? So when I saw the game yesterday, I said the defense is the Achilles heel of the Packers. Their defense is just on top of it. Press is the best. Yeah, the best NFL is rigged. I still think it's rigged. 2 more days in the office, but he's staying. And look, I'm not going to talk about Trump right now. I'll talk about Trump. I'll come on live again and talk about Trump, because I can talk about that, in ad nauseum. I've been looking up a lot of things going on about that whole thing. But right now, I wanted to give my sports heads some love, because my account was kind of jacked up for a while and I wasn't able to get on. And that's why I haven't been uploading anything. And I couldn't get my camera to work right with my sound. So I just got all this stuff back together, and I wanted to give certain people who listen to my channel some love, and then I'll hit everybody up with what they want to talk about. So, but yeah, so when I saw Tom Brady do his thing, when the defense did their thing, I said my prediction is in trouble. Can the Packers beat the Bucks? Right now, yeah, 2007, back when Warren Sapp was playing, right? Right now, the Bucks are just the way they handled the Saints. Chimera, they handled them. They handled them like it was a work of art. What they did, it was a work of freaking art. It was nobody's fault. I can't put it on Drew Brees. Their team was just playing outstandingly. They were turned up all the way, and they were ready for the team that made them look bad. So you can't say, oh, Drew played a terrible game, because there's no such thing as Drew Brees playing a terrible game. He got picked off because the defense was just on point. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They were clicking on all cylinders. And that's what happens when you embarrass somebody earlier in the season, especially when you embarrass the general of the game, Tom Brady. When you do that, he's going to be watching tape until he plays you again. And everything that you did, he is going to, be like, we need to do this, this, and this in order to beat that team. And that's just the way, that's how he does. He even does it when he's down a quarter. He's just like, okay, we need to go ahead and do this. Next thing you know, boom, he's winning. So it's just Tom Brady. It's the Tom Brady effect. So do I think the Bucks will beat the Packers? Absolutely, I do. But when I make a prediction, I hold on to it until it's no more. Can the Packers beat the Bucks? Well, if they make some mistakes, yes. If Tom Brady makes some mistakes, yes. If the defense gets caught with the you know uh, downfield, and if Aaron Rodgers is going to start making those long magic passes that he does with the sidearm and all that stuff, yeah, they can march down the field in 10 plays and score on you. Can they keep Brady out of the end zone? It's possible. It's highly possible. What they're gonna have, I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to rush him. They're gonna have to. What they're gonna have to do is control the clock. Keep the ball out of Tom Brady's hands, make the defense play as much as possible, and hopefully in the third and the fourth quarter, the defense will just get tired. Rotate your receivers, pass the ball around, and get the tight ends into the game as much as possible. When they do that in the fourth quarter, the receivers can start heading downfield. The defense is already going to be tired. Boom. You'll be down in the first, second, and maybe in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, you come back and score 2 touchdowns, win the game by like 5 or something like that. So can the Packers do it? Yeah, absolutely. If they play controlled football and keep Brady off the field, they can do it. There's no doubt about it. But right now, if they don't keep Brady off the field and that defense is clicking like it is, you do not want that defense to do that again. You don't want them to get that much rest. You don't want Tom Brady to keep his hands on the ball, because he's not going to throw downfield on you all day. He's going to throw to anybody who's eligible, and that means anyone who's eligible. They will make somebody eligible just so they can pull off a play. We've seen it before. This is what he's known for, and if he does this enough, he keeps cheap shotting you. Just like Roethlisberger did against the Browns when they start coming back. He start taking short passes. Next thing you know, they march right down the field. Steelers march right down the field. Tom Brady is the best at that. He's just the best at it. And if they can do that and keep his running back fresh and healthy, then yeah, it's lights out for the Packers. But I'm still going to go with the Packers. Now, earlier during the season, we know the Packers defense is not it's not as good as the Bucs. We know that. But I still was going with the Packers offense. They got a great offense. Aaron Rodgers is still that dude. I mean, you can't take nothing from him. I think his rating might even be higher. I think he has a higher passing rating than Tom Brady. Right? Matter of fact, I think Aaron Rodgers might have the highest passer rating that there is. So if they run up the scoreboard, in the first and second quarter, and then just hang on to the fourth quarter, yeah, it's highly possible that that's going to happen. And what I also seen that's interesting is Patrick Mahomes is hurt. So, when you got the Chiefs hurt like that, that paves the way for, if the Packers win, for the Packers to go ahead and beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I noticed that. I was like, oh, Patrick Mahomes sat out the game at the third quarter or something like that, or the beginning of the fourth, something like that. Patrick Mahomes, he was out. So I'm like, okay, I knew somebody had to sit down on that team. It's either going to be Hill or Patrick Mahomes. Well, if Patrick Mahomes is not there, well, we seen what happened. They are more susceptible to lose, like they lost to the Raiders of all teams. The Raiders is the Raiders, Lions, Bears, they're all, we don't know if they're going you just don't know if they're going to make it or not. If they're going to make it to the first round playoffs or not. Bears just happen to make it on other teams just not making it. Bears were 8-8, 8-9 at the end of the season or something like that. I don't know. But those teams are always in the same bracket to me. Dolphins, Chargers, they're all in that same bracket to me. It's just, they are second-tier teams to me, and the result is the same each year with them. The only reason why the Bucs is not a second-tier team this year is because of Tom Brady. But usually the Bucs are right in that same bracket, and even worse. So yeah, I'm still going to go with the Packers. They can pull off a miracle. Who would people rather see in the Super Bowl? You would think Tom Brady, but here's the problem. Tom Brady, his people want to see him fail more than succeed. because they're tired of seeing him. You know what I mean? So I think based on that, he's going to get that call from somebody's office and they're going to tell him to throw 2 interceptions. And I just think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to Cam Newton him at one point or another and tell him to make an obvious mistake. It's going to be obvious that he was told to make this mistake. And I just think that, I just think that he might be sitting this one out because people don't want to see him in a Super Bowl. They want to see him fail, but they still love to see somebody who is that good. It's a tightrope Tom is walking, but they know that the Super Bowl ratings actually went down because of Tom Brady. People just were like, it's just rigged. It's no fun. We can pretty much call it each year. The Patriots are going to go to the Super Bowl. It's just not fun anymore. You know what I mean? It's who's going to play the Patriots. That's what every year is. And now, if the Bucks just get stronger, there's Patrick Mahomes not playing. I mean, you can't tell me that the Bucks can't beat a Kansas City without Patrick Mahomes. You can't. As a matter of fact, any team that's there now out of the Final Four can beat Kansas City without Patrick Mahomes. Any team. If the Raiders beat you, any team can come in there and beat you. And the Raiders weren't terrible. The Raiders weren't Cincinnati. All right, the Raiders weren't the Jets. They're going to repeat Buccaneers? What do you mean by that? 2002 could be, well, okay, 2022 could be the last Super Bowl season. I don't believe that one bit, but I understand what you're saying. Now, recently, they were, you know how the Super Bowl commercials are, worth so much. I think they're $5 million for like a few seconds. And, those are coveted because they get their money back. They get their return off of that. Or else, they wouldn't spend that much money for such a small, amount of time. Now, they were talking about how the viewer ability is not going to be, it's just not going to be as much. I mean, there's not going to be as many people there, even though they did try to fill up the seats somewhat at these playoff games. Yesterday you saw the seats were like maybe 1/6. You know what I mean? It just, it was still sparse because of, CV, but nonetheless, they were trying to make an attempt to have, people there to bring back up the hype of the Super Bowl. So the people who give all this money and try to, do these advertisements, they're doubtful. They're like, we don't know if the people are going to watch the Super Bowl. So I understand, 2020, you saying, or 22, you're saying it's going to be the last Super Bowl, but I just think that as long as money is involved somewhere, they're going to find a way. Well, that's another topic we can talk about later, because I've been watching some, people who've done just that, and they've gone to one of the countries that I've actually considered, which is Ghana, and they're living well. Some people have gone to European countries. Some people have gone even to Russia, Germany. I used to live in Germany, so it's pretty chill in Germany. And there's a large population of African Americans in Germany. So yeah, but we'll talk on that too. But yeah, so that's my pick. The Packers. The Super Bowl will not have as many people watching it, but I still don't believe that it's going to go away. I think that I think with the distraction of coronavirus, And now the White House, I mean, the whole election, and the whole inauguration, that going on, and what's following, I mean, January 6th, that's not going anywhere. Now there's 25,000 troops surrounding the White House. There's 25,000 National Guard and Army members. 25,000. 25,000 armed soldiers to the T around the White House. I mean, it's real, people. I think with all of that going on, it's not that people don't really care about the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl is this is why I don't really get into it that much, is because it means nothing. It doesn't put food on my table. Now it does for some YouTubers. They make money off of it. But I don't really, you know what I mean? I don't really put a lot into it. It's just not my thing. But I like predictions, so I throw them out there, things along that line. But on a wider scope of things, the Super Bowl just doesn't really matter. Not unless you are playing in it or you're making money from it some kind of way. It does. Other than that, for the normal person, it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And all these other things really do. So the ratings will be shot to pieces. But even before CV, the ratings were going down. They was going down, 2 years ago? They went down like 1.6 million. Yeah, that's a lot of eyeballs. That's a lot of revenue. That's a lot of money. And now if we compare what the Super Bowl is going to be this year, what it's possibly going to be, and then look at what it was last year, the numbers are going to be like here last year, here this year. It might even be down. I mean, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. And what I think is going to happen is it's going to affect the salaries of the players. I think if CV keeps controlling the world, then you're going to hear players talk about how they're not getting, this, that, the third, as far as money is concerned. They've already changed some of the rules when who was the one guy who played for the Raiders, the quarterback who played for the Raiders. He got a huge signing bonus and barely even played. I forgot it was a black guy. I forgot it. After that, they were just like, you get a $5 million a year coming in, and then you get your after your rookie season, then you get whatever we're going to pay you. Like Russell. Russell Wilson got $60 million after after he'd been to the Super Bowl twice. Then they gave him six. I mean, can you imagine that? I take you to the Super Bowl twice, and you're paying me the league, not the league minimum, because the league minimum was like $285,000. You know what I'm saying? For the practice squad. You know what I'm saying? But you're paying me as if I've been here for 10 years and I'm only worth, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, I took you to the Super Bowl and won. And the second time you made a bad call, Pete Carroll, and we would have won. I would have been a 2-time Super Bowl champ in my rookie season. And now you're just now paying me $60 million. It seems backwards, but now they're making people earn it. So I think those large amounts of money, $16 million, I mean, your contract is for how long? Russell Wilson, what is it, 10 years? I don't know. But I think those contracts are going to go the way of the dodo bird if they look at the Super Bowl this year and the Super Bowl ratings are tanking, and they realize that coronavirus is, as a matter of fact, it is getting worse. There's other strands of it that are coming out of Wuhan. The death toll period in the world is 2 million. That number isn't slowing down. So, and the White House does not have control of it. There are people who are getting fake injections because people are posting things on Facebook, and saying, hey, come to the hospital. We have 200, samples. And then you have this long line of people showing up and they're like, no, we don't have that. or people are selling fake remedies or whatever that is, vaccines now. It turns out that it's just water. It's just, this whole thing is off the chain, and if they don't get a hold of it, the Super Bowl is just not going to make a difference to no one. So if this year the Super Bowl ratings are really in the toilet, it's going to be like that. The next year, listen, you might be right. But I still think once they get this together, they'll, it'll come back, but they might say, it's not worth it. Because they still have to, pay these people who work at these stadiums. These stadiums still cost money, the upkeep on them. I mean, some of these stadiums are pretty much new, as far as stadiums are concerned. So the upkeep on that is, it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's a real cost. So there's all that. Okay, so much security around the Capitol. Yeah, the security around the Capitol is necessary. You know what, you guys? Okay, so I'm pretty much done with this. I'm gonna come right back on, and we're gonna get into this whole Donald Trump thing. So if you guys can give me a minute or two to get a swig of water, we'll go ahead and get right to this Trump thing. But I just wanted to talk about this real quick because some people, want to do the whole sports thing. So I'm going to end this one, and I'm going to come right back and maybe give me about 2-3 minutes. All right, guys, I'll be right back. And we're going to talk about the White House. All right? All right.